Again, this is the second podcast in a row that we get to talk about Tom Brady. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. If you can not hear the sarcasm in my voice.
Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time we have found you today. Welcome back to the Underqualified Knuckleheads podcast. I am your co-host, Daniel Keene. Along with me is Andy Newman. How you doing today, Andy?
Not too bad. Very snowy today. Not a lot of snow falling from the sky, but a lot of snow on the ground. A lot of ice. Almost slipped on the way over here. Definitely been snowed in and in my dorm for the last 2 days in a row.
Yes, we actually got locked out of our recording studio on Friday. Today is Saturday, which is a day later than our usual recording day, but the snow really didn't want us to record a podcast, which I thought was very rude.
Then again, usually our recording day is only been 1 day, so it's not like we're having any kind of schedule or anything like that.
We can.
It's not like we have a routine.
We can go a little back and forth on it now. But in the past week, we have had a lot go down in the NFL, including the AFC, NFC Championship, some trade rumors, the retirement of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time,
coaches going everywhere and not going everywhere for some reason.
We got a big
coaches
show ahead of
suing
us.
the NFL.
Oh, geez,
a lot of stuff.
Yes, a lot of stuff going down. First and foremost, let's talk AFC NFC Championship.
Another great weekend of football.
Another great weekend of football. Oh my gosh, it was really good, really good. Let's start with the AFC Championship, which was arguably the more shocker of the event, as the Bengals, the Bengals took down the Chiefs after being down 21-3 at halftime. Wow.
No, honestly, if that game tells you anything, Burrow is totally that guy. Like, I know everyone has been we're a little bit removed from the games, but everyone on the internet has been just kind of showing their love for Joe Burrow. And the dude being able to make it to a Super Bowl in your second year after basically not even playing your
after
first year.
Your ACL with the offensive line that he has.
I did not expect them. No, that offensive line is not Super Bowl caliber at all. Like, respect to them. I mean, they're NFL linemen. I could never do that.
Agreed.
But in comparison to the other caliber of players they have to play against, they're not great. But they made it to the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter.
They're in the Super Bowl, and they are playing very well. And honestly, if we're doing this if you have to pick a Hall of Fame quarterback out of the very young quarterbacks we have in the league right now, Joe Burrow's
could be Joe. I mean, I think we have a lot of great young talent.
Josh Allen.
No.
Is he considered young still?
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, but these guys who are in their first 2 or 3 years. Yeah, he's still in his two. Yeah.
I would say Josh Allen's still young. Mahomes is still young. Herbert's still young. And then I would say probably maybe could we consider Lamar still maybe?
He is.
Yeah.
He's 24, 25.
Yeah, I would say so. I would still give it to Lamar. Did he have a great season this year? Was he hurt? Yes.
Yeah.
So, great season, no. Hurt, yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think the AFC in particular, in terms of quarterbacks and superstar talent, is going to be very fun to watch in the years to come.
Oh, yeah, it's loaded. And so, that game was honestly the most surprising game that I've watched in a while because, so you're down 21-3 to the Chiefs. That's a death sentence normally, right?
Yes.
They're calling Mahomes the Grim Reaper the week before. He just goes out there and wins a game or ties a game up with 13 seconds. And then you go out there and Mahomes does literally nothing in the second half. And then right before the second half, you have that play with Eli Apple stopping Tyreek Hill before they can go up 28-3.
Oh, my.
And I did not expect Joe Burrow to come back from that at all.
I didn't. I mean, yeah, you want them to.
I was rooting for the Bengals.
I was rooting for the Bengals. Who wasn't? But
nothing against the Chiefs. The Chiefs they were a poverty franchise for 50 years.
They had their time.
I'm totally okay with them being a dynasty in the NFL. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I have no problems with anyone on the team except for some people that are not on the team but related to some people on the team. But that is neither here nor there.
We talk football here.
Yeah, we just talk football here. But no, I think that was definitely incredibly surprising. And my grandpa, who doesn't generally call me about football games or anything, called me and was like, "Oh my God, they won!" And I'm like, "I know, Grandpa, this is insane." I'm thinking that my grandpa legit called me to say how crazy it was. That just shows you, if anything, how crazy it was.
That was an insane game. And just Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
You can't sing his accolades enough until he wins the NFL Super Bowl championship, which he's going to.
Yeah.
That was a weird way of saying the Super Bowl, but you know what? It is, and that's what it is. The NFL Super Bowl championship, sure.
It was actually called the NFL championship for the longest time.
It was indeed. Well, for 1 year, and then went to Super Bowl 2.
Super Bowl 3, I believe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're underqualified.
I don't know. I'll look it up in like 10 minutes.
We'll figure it out later.
Yes. But
moving over to the NFC Championship, right?
Moving over to the NFC Championship, and I'm not a Rams fan. Let's underline and bold this. I'm not a Rams fan. I'm a Matthew Stafford fan. I got a lot of flack in the newsroom this week for being excited that the Rams are going to the Super Bowl. It is not because the Rams are going to the Super Bowl. It's because Matthew Stafford is going to the Super Bowl.
People were making fun of you for that?
Yeah.
No, hey.
Well, it's the same type of people who are like bandwagon off fans after 2-3 years. So like, take it with a grain of salt.
No, but I can 100% relate to you on that because obviously my favorite player of all time, Peyton Manning, when he went to the Broncos, was I a Broncos fan? No. Was I a Peyton Manning fan? Yes. Was I happy for him and extremely excited for him when he went to 2 Super Bowls? Heck yeah, I was.
Right.
Was I disappointed that he wasn't in a Colts uniform? Very much so. But was I excited for him that he got to ride off into the sunset, which is hopefully maybe what Stafford does? I'm sure he's not going to retire.
Oh, he won't
retire. Getting a Super Bowl right now would definitely cement his legacy at least.
I think I've talked about it a lot of time. I think if he spends 2 or 3 more years with the Rams at the highest level of play and he wins this Super Bowl, potentially winning another one, he could be looking Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, I think he could be looking Hall of Fame if he just wins one. That's all he has to do.
And the thing is, it's because he played in Detroit for 13 years, and everyone has a bad rap after you play in Detroit.
We've been talking poverty franchises. That is the literal definition of a poverty
franchise. You know what?
franchise.
I almost wore my Lions hat today.
I'm sorry.
I almost wore my Lions hat today.
Yeah. That's what like the Ford family's screwing you guys over so bad. I feel so bad.
You can root for a player. Root for a player, and I'm rooting for a player. But they didn't lose the game. Like I was never in doubt that the Rams weren't going to win that game.
I feel like the Niners lost that game, if anything.
But it just the Niners looked so out of funk. They just did not look cohesive. They didn't look like they could get anything done on offense.
They were doing well like most of the time, and then it just kind of like went.
Like the big plays in the game that you need to make.
Yeah,
they didn't make. And what we wrote down as our game-changing play was the interception dropped by Jaquaski.
Jaquaski, sure. Yeah, I have no idea how to say that name. Yeah,
that was bad.
Oh, dude, he literally had the game in his hands.
That was bad.
All he has to do is
That was really
I'm
bad.
not going to toot my own horn, but I may have been able to catch that. Maybe. Like, I don't know if in the circumstances, but like if I was just like standing there.
If you're in open field and the ball's coming right at you,
especially if you're in the NFL.
And I'm trying to think of ways he dropped that. Do you think he's got to be like looking the wrong way and he brought his eyes back too quickly?
I don't know. Like maybe it was the moment was just like, oh my God, we're got to go to the Super Bowl if I catch this, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Like literally, that was probably one of the easiest catches that he could have made.
Yeah, and then the next play they had the unsportsmanlike hit on Odell Beckham, drove him down the field.
Yeah.
And
they fumbled the bag. But you know who fumbled the bag the biggest? Other than that guy, probably Jimmy G.
He's a winner, though.
He is. Good for him. But that was the most Carson Wentz pass I've ever seen in my life, and that just lost them the game so bad.
He gave him a real hospital ball there, and I think what they say a lot about Jimmy G is that he can't come up in the big plays, and obviously there he didn't come up with the big play, but he's a winner. He's a proven winner.
I mean, yeah, sure.
You can't get over that guy's record.
Is he a winner or the 49ers winners? That's the question.
Well, he won a little bit in New England.
Like 2 games or so.
He won like 3 or 4 games.
But you know who else won in New England? Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
I mean, anyone can win in New England.
I retract my
If you're
statement.
not like absolutely like brain dead, I'm pretty sure you can probably win a football game at quarterback if you're in New England.
That's totally fair. Speaking of Jimmy G, though, it came out a couple days after the game that both Jimmy G and the 49ers are mutually working on a trade to get Jimmy G out of San Francisco. If that is not an odd declaration, I mean, I saw Trey Lance play this season. He wasn't lighting it up.
No, my friend Jacob Booth like swears to God that this guy is the next like Mahomes, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady combined into one human being and is about to be the greatest football player of all time. And obviously, I mean, I think this year he got hurt a lot. I think was the issue, and he wasn't able to stay on the field. Yeah. And obviously, I think when at least now, you expect like first couple year guys to like absolutely pop off in the NFL, and he did not. But I mean,
he was behind Jimmy G. They told Jimmy G before they drafted him, like, hey, we're going to take this guy. He's a great quarterback.
Which is more courtesy that they extended to him than Aaron Rodgers when they drafted Jordan Love. I'm going to be completely honest with that.
Honestly, like what I saw from Trey Lance was not great. It wasn't. I mean, you got to give him all the benefit of the doubt because first year in the league, get injured, you're in San Francisco behind Jimmy G. But it didn't look great. So hopefully,
John Lynch sees something. He's the general manager of the 49ers. He obviously sees something that we don't. Apparently, my friend Jacob Booth sees something that we don't. Some people see something that we don't. I haven't seen anything enough that says, you know what, this guy's the guy of the future.
Quarterback. That's what I don't see. I don't see the talent to trade away your starting quarterback. I mean, Jimmy G's not great. But they're probably making a smart move, trading him while he has high trade value. But where could he go?
I don't know. I think so the ones that you wrote down, Texans, interesting. Really,
I mean,
yay!
I can't see the Texans doing anything.
Who's in the market for a above average mediocre quarterback? That'd be actually, I don't know.
Colts.
Did you really have to do that? Yeah. Well, is he? That's okay. That's a good question, though.
You said it 5 minutes ago. He threw a Wentz-like ball in that NFC Championship.
That's why we don't want him. I don't know, but maybe, you know what? Maybe he's a winner. Maybe he'll do it. I don't know. I don't think we need him, though.
No. But we could look. I was thinking about this like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
What if the Packers trade for him?
Ooh, what? Oh, I like that.
It's obvious they do not have that much faith in Jordan Love.
No. Okay, never mind. I totally forgot about Jordan Love.
No. Have you seen Jordan Love play?
It's Jordan Love time.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't great this year. Didn't he play like in one game where like Rodgers had like COVID or whatever? Yeah, I don't know.
I remember that was funny.
He literally, do you remember when he put his toe up on the Zoom call?
Oh, jeez.
I'm immunized with my toe.
If that's not like real, I don't
say that.
I don't care anymore type mentality.
I don't.
Good for him.
But yeah. Anyway, so no, I don't think Texans. I think they're rolling with big neck dude. I forget his name. Dude with the rookie guy that they drafted.
Shoot.
I don't know.
I know exactly who.
I know who I'm talking about.
I'm gonna look it up now.
I don't know his name. Big neck man.
Texans QB.
Okay. Maybe that might be an upgrade, but actually he didn't play that half bad.
Davis Mills.
Thank you. Yes, Davis Mills. I don't know. Maybe you would take Jimmy G.
I think I just can't see the Texans. Like, I mean, we think the Texans can do stuff, but at the same time, I don't see that front office doing anything terribly meaningful. I think it's going to be another 2 or 3 years before the Texans really start doing something.
They got to trade Deshaun first anyway. If he's able to even be traded.
If Deshaun's legal situation clears up, he can get traded. But
okay, so what was happening towards the trade deadline this year? I think he was getting a bunch of stuff squashed before he was going to go to the Dolphins. Apparently.
Yeah, but I think the only person pulling for him in Miami was
Flores, right?
Brian Flores.
Yeah,
the whole organization didn't really want him.
Yeah, and I think the Dolphins are sold on Tua, but Flores wasn't, obviously. But But, okay, so the next team you threw down here was the Browns.
So I don't think the Browns will trade for him, but I think the Browns should trade for him. I love Baker Mayfield. He's my type of guy. I love his mentality. I love his moxie on the field. But
you think it's an upgrade over Baker?
I don't know. Well,
I'm sorry. A lot of people are burying Baker Mayfield.
He had a torn labrum.
That's what I'm saying. That's he was not that bad.
That's the only maybe thing. I think the Browns should trade for a superstar quarterback, but maybe not this year.
I don't know. I'm being completely serious. I do not think Baker Mayfield is that bad of a quarterback. But then again, I said that about Sam Darnold, and he's not great.
You also said that about Carson Wentz. So
I did not say that about Carson Wentz.
You said the trade was amazing.
No, I did not. No, I never said that. I may have said that to convince myself, but I knew that it was not a good trade. I would have much rather had Matthew Stafford, obviously.
We call that Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, no. Oh my God, that's actually very accurate to my problem right now. But the third team you wrote down,
the Browns could just to clarify, the Browns could and might want to trade for him if they don't have any more faith in Baker Mayfield. But Baker Mayfield's got his shoulder fixed up. He's gonna have a good offseason. He's gonna recover. Maybe he comes out, lights out. Browns go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Probably not.
This is definitely a topic for another day, but the Browns need to draft a wide receiver. That is I'm going to put that in the back pocket. We're going to talk about that at a later date.
Okay.
But yes, third team we wrote down, Buccaneers. Why did the Buccaneers need a new quarterback, Andy?
I have no idea. Maybe because Tom Brady retired officially. Finally, the greatest day, one of the greatest days of my life. I'd say probably top 5.
Oh my gosh.
Probably top 5. officially retires via an Instagram post.
Oh yeah,
Isn't that weird? So, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of story background here. So I went to Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame ceremony, and he was talking and making jokes at the beginning of the speech about talking about how Hall of Fame ceremony speeches have kind of gotten a lot smaller and have gotten cut off the time or whatever. And he made a joke about Tom Brady in 2035 when he gets into the Hall of Fame. You only have time to post his retirement speech to his Instagram account. And it's so ironic that his Hall of Fame joke, retirement, whatever, actually did kind of come true. And he posted his retirement on his Instagram? Isn't that weird? Is that not odd?
I think it's because Adam Schefter tweeted it out and reported on it. And then Tom Brady was like, "No, I didn't," but like now he's got to get it out.
It's like it's one of the biggest stories in sports history, and the dude posted it on an app, on a social media app. Isn't that weird? And it feels
weird.
I
get it. It completely feels not sincere. He didn't do anything with the Bucs. He didn't do anything with the Pats.
He didn't mention the Patriots at all.
He did not mention the Patriots at all in that Instagram
Kind of
post.
crazy.
What the heck?
I
mean, bad blood aside, Bill Belichick aside, whatever bad feelings you have about that place, you won 6 Super Bowls.
I know, yeah, and for 20 years.
For 20 years.
You got drafted by him.
They took you in the 6th round with like the second to last pick or something, and you did that to them. I think that's a little.
If Peyton wouldn't have mentioned the Colts in his and we even cut him. Like, we cut the man. Tom Brady did not get cut. But Peyton Manning mentioned the fans of Indianapolis, mentioned Jim Irsay, the dude who literally cut him. Like, but Tom Brady didn't even, in his typed up message, didn't even message. Isn't that weird? That is so weird. For me.
Here's my thing. I think because we're still in the postseason, we have the Super Bowl coming up, we have this stuff coming up. There's a lot going on in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do like a Ring of Honor or like something more official.
I would assume
later in the year, and I think right now he just needed to get it out.
Just tell people.
I think he just needed to say it. I do disagree that he didn't include the Pats.
That was odd.
There might have been rumors he was going to sign a one-day and retire as a Pat.
Yeah, I have heard about that.
But I just think it's a little distasteful from Tommy Boy.
I don't know. I mean, he did like give like that whole speech when he actually did leave New England, but like. You would think that you would again re-go over that when you retire.
If I were in his shoes as the greatest quarterback of all time, I'd give New England some love.
Again, this is the second podcast in a row that we get to talk about Tom Brady. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. If you can not hear the sarcasm in my voice, it should be very apparent.
Well, we can move on that, or you want to keep talking about it?
Well, I have one more kind of point.
So now you want to talk about Tom Brady.
One last thing.
Okay.
Do you think Tony Romo thinks that Tom Brady's going to pull like a Michael Jordan and come back in like 2 years? I don't think that's going to happen. But do you think he comes back as like a coach, an owner, tries to get in with Peyton Manning and buy the Broncos or something like that?
I think at this point in time, I think it's a little Sean Payton-y. I think he just can't be around football right now. I think it's going to be a year or so. I could totally see him
spend some time with Giselle and the kids.
Yeah, Giselle and the kids. He talked about devoting his time to his family, and that's all good for him.
Obviously, Buccaneers are going to be in the market for a new quarterback, obviously. And Vegas released their betting odds on who's going to be that quarterback. Some weird names on this list. Some very odd names. First one, Jimmy Garoppolo. We just talked about him. Interesting pick. And then the second one on the list, which is very odd to me, is Carson Wentz at 11-2 odds that he will be the starting quarterback for the Buccaneers. Explain how that makes any sense. Like, I understand that Vegas odds are just very odd.
I don't get who makes the odds.
I don't get it either.
Here's the deal. I don't bet a whole lot.
Neither do I.
Never really done
I have friends that do.
I have friends that bet. I have friends that do a lot of betting.
Sure.
As a sports journalist, I feel like it's a little unethical to bet. Also, I don't really get the thrill of it. Like yeah, you play poker with your friends and you put like $10 in the pot or something, but betting on I can't get behind it. And then you get odds from Las Vegas, and who is making these odds? Are they just?
I have no idea.
Is this some guy? Guy sitting in a podcast studio like us going, "Oh, I think Carson Wentz is 11-2 odds."
Yeah, no, here's some random also throw-ins here. At the bottom of the list, at 50-1 odds, is Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck. Are you kidding?
Yeah, so they have...
If that tells you anything about the legitimacy of this list...
They have 2 retired quarterbacks on here. They have two quarterbacks who are probably locked down to their teams right now.
Yeah.
it just doesn't seem too accurate.
And they have Phillip Rivers at 33-1.
Yeah,
Andrew Luck and Phillip Rivers.
2 retired quarterbacks.
What? And they have Blaine Gabbert? Okay, I guess he's on the team. But
Kyle Trask is on the team. Trask was their, I think it was like 3rd or 4th round quarterback selection out of Florida.
I don't know why he wouldn't be number 1 odds-on favorite. Should he not be?
He could totally be in there. If they liked what they see, you learned behind
Tom
Brady for a year or so.
They drafted him in the 1st round, did they not?
They drafted
It wasn't the first round?
4th round.
2nd? 4th? I don't know. What round did they draft him? I thought it was relatively high.
He was the 64th overall pick.
So that's 3rd? Or
got to be around 3rd round.
No, that's the end of the 2nd. That's 64.
Yeah, final pick of the 2nd round. They took Kyle Trask.
So that's relatively high.
Coming out of college, he had some high praise. And you go to the Buccaneers, you learn by Tom Brady. I mean,
yeah,
he could totally be.
I'm saying the 2nd round pick is relatively high.
Or I mean, we also have Jameis Winston on this. You know, he got LASIK. he got LASIK surgery. He went to New Orleans.
Imagine that. Oh my God.
He played well. Maybe he goes back to Tampa
Oh my
now.
God! Imagine Jameis Winston going back to the Buccaneers. Buccaneers fans, you know how many people like Jameis? I think Jameis Winston's a good quarterback and everything. You know how many people would just be like, nope, nope, I can't. Like that's like if Jacoby Brissett came back to like play for the Colts. I mean, I love Jacoby.
Would you take him back?
Honestly maybe. Like I'm not even kidding. Like it might be I don't know. Carson has like a lot of potential, but. Oh my God, I don't know. We're screwed. It's unless we like make some sort of splash. The Colts are. How do I always get it back to the Colts? I love this. I want to talk about the Colts for the rest of my life. This is what's going to happen.
It's not a Colts podcast.
Yes,
Andy.
it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I'm making it one.
Jeez.
Okay, but another quarterback, obviously. So they had all the quarterbacks in the rankings. There is Aaron Rodgers on this list. Aaron Rodgers is on this list for possibly becoming the Buccaneers quarterback, which is an interesting one. 13-2. But there's been a lot of speculation this week that honestly just got squashed this morning.
Yeah, it did get squashed this morning. I was about to bring that up as we started talking about it.
But
Aaron Rodgers had reportedly bought land in Nashville, Tennessee, and was open to playing for the Titans. But then it was announced that the Titans will not pursue anything for Aaron Rodgers. They like Ryan Tannehill,
which I think is a horrible decision.
Horrible decision.
I think
if you have the chance to go take a Hall of Fame, first ballot Hall of Famer, why not?
I don't know.
Ryan Tannehill's not that good.
I'm being completely serious here. I think that they're a quarterback away. They're easily a quarterback because you cannot lean on Derrick Henry anymore. And because I think obviously you still use Derrick Henry as your accent and like as a good chunk, but you cannot only lean on Derrick Henry anymore.
You can't.
No, and then when you can't do that, you have to lean on Ryan Tannehill, and that's not ideal. If you got to lean on Aaron Rodgers instead, I think that's a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Packers did that for a decade.
I'm being completely serious. No, they're a slightly better quarterback away. Like a quarterback that can actually make plays and like do things in like big moments and like actually has like some sort of playmaking ability. Mm-hmm. They're that guy away from winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, no,
the fact they're not even going to think about pursuing him is crazy.
I mean, I think what the Titans are going to do this offseason is focus on defense a little. I think that's just kind of the way Vrabel wants to do it.
Yep.
But I think, if you could go on Aaron Rodgers, why wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't at all.
Well, we'll find out a little later as he's reported to announce it on Pat McAfee's show.
Yeah. Pat McAfee. You cannot say
what
that
did I
name.
say?
McAfee. It's Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee.
You said McAfee.
We'll cut that out.
No, we're not. I'm keeping it. Nothing is getting cut. This is uncensored. Okay, it's slightly censored because we can't actually say bad words or language that is vulgar. But it is.
I'll learn to say Pat McAfee.
No.
McAfee.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my! This is not going to end. Okay. Anyway, other big news from this week: Washington football team officially renames to Washington Commanders.
I hate it so much.
Why?
First off, I liked this. First, if they were going to go with anything, I liked the Senators better. Just a little bit because they're DC.
I liked Armada was kind of neat.
The Senators, Armada. I think they had dreadnoughts in there. That would have been sounded cool.
My pick was Red Wolves.
That's
a cool name.
I feel but isn't there the Coyotes in the NHL?
They had Red Tails too, which was an homage to some sort of African American
the
plane.
Tuskegee Airmen. That would have been cool.
I think that'd have been cool.
Yeah. Or scrap any name ideas. Let's just stay the Washington football team.
I don't hate that too.
I don't hate that. It was unique. It
was
had
different.
A little bit of an identity. I don't know. That's Dan Snyder for you.
Yeah. This was like the most like meh name, I think.
You know, the graphic, I saw like their graphic announcements with their new logos and stuff. They didn't look bad, but they looked very copy-paste. The uniforms were okay. Like the home and away uniforms were okay.
The black one.
Oh, my gosh.
I like the black, like, just like the out.
What's up with that helmet, though?
The helmet's bad.
The helmet's bad.
The helmet, like, why is there a little Washington logo on the front of it?
Yeah,
that just seems wrong.
Right on the crown of it, and it's an odd-shaped helmet.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if it's going to look like... The helmet is going to be shaped like that for everybody. But that,
I hope not.
That little logo on the front just seems wrong. It just does not look correct. I don't know.
Do a blackout jersey in so many.
Yeah, I think the blackout jersey was a great idea. I like that. But like it just the little helmet logo kind of ruined the whole thing for me.
And they might have gotten their name from someone else.
Yeah, no. So I'm a huge fan of off-season football. Love every single league that tries to pop up. Back in 2019, it was the AAF. Next year, it was the XFL. Last year, it was the Fan-Controlled Football League.
This year, it's the USFL.
Yes.
I'm actually really excited about that.
Yes.
But keep going.
But going back to the AAF, they had a team called the San Antonio Commanders, and their official team slogan was #TakeCommand. And look who has that exact same name and slogan now. It's the Washington, not football team, the Washington Commanders.
Side note, it's going like semi-viral on Twitter right now. People are calling them the Washington Commies.
Yeah.
For short.
I don't know.
You could have gone so many better ways.
I don't know. What's your chant going to be? Let's go, commies, let's go. Or is it going to be, Pat McAfee came up with this one, we are Commanders, bum, 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 bum.
I'd like that.
I think that's kind of fun.
Fix FedEx Field, and then we could talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, but going into some great news. That was funny news.
That was fun news.
This is not good.
Yeah, a little more serious. Brian Flores is suing both the NFL and the Giants organization.
And Dolphins and Broncos.
For
racism and a bunch of other stuff.
Coaching, hiring. It's well documented that the NFL does not have a large number of African American men in leadership positions.
Yeah, which is interesting because 70% of the NFL is African American. Which I mean, and if you are qualified for the position, there should be no problem.
There should
with you
be
getting
nothing
a job.
stopping you. But
no.
So Brian Flores is claiming that the Giants, he also apparently in seasons past interviewed for a Broncos position, and they came to the interview a couple hours, like really disheveled, not ready.
He said John Elway showed up hungover / drunk, and multiple hours or so late, and just didn't care.
His interview was a sham. And then this season, after getting fired by the Dolphins, who he reportedly said were offering him, their team owner was offering him $100K to lose.
Which I think this is crazy. Imagine that just destroys the entire integrity of the game. You're offered $100,000 per game that you lose. This is the tank for
to lose. Like what the heck?
This is the tank for Tua era, right? Yeah. So obviously they're trying to get the first overall pick. They end up getting Tua, which again was probably the wrong choice.
But, that's
crazy.
That ruins the integrity of the game. That makes me not want to watch.
And now Hugh Jackson is saying that.
And now Hugh Jackson did weigh in on the situation. He hinted that he was paid to lose games in Cleveland. He
did a great job of it.
Yeah, and then I think it was.
He must have made a bunch of money then because they won one game in 2 years.
I mean, he must.
How many $100,000 is that? I mean, he did a great job if that's what he was being told to do. But also, that kind of is terrible. Again, obviously, but I don't know.
I'm trying to find the quote, but there was a player. Oh yeah, so Jason McCourty was on the Browns in the 0-16 season. And said there was no way we were trying to win. It was very obvious. So that's at least his professional opinion on it. So basically, the NFL has what's called the Rooney Rule.
Yeah, which
requires that any time a head coaching position or any coaching position or front office position is opened, they have to interview one minority or one person of color, which is a great rule. But what Flores is now claiming or accusing the NFL of doing is organizations making the Rooney Rule a sham, basically not taking the interview seriously. interviewing people like Brian Flores, even though they are extremely qualified for the position.
Oh, yeah, Flores. I think Flores should be a top candidate.
The fact that he got fired in Miami.
That was insane. I think it was just because they had issues with the front office.
I think it was definitely a front office issue, but still,
I'd have been totally fine with him.
He's a damn good coach.
He's a great coach. He's a great coach.
Yeah, so basically, Flores is accusing both the NFL and teams of not taking the Rooney Rule seriously. He has evidence from none other than Bill Belichick.
This is probably the most damning evidence of anything. So Belichick, thinking, I'm trying to figure out how in the world he would have thought that this was. So Belichick, as we all know, is one of the biggest masterminds in the NFL. People are trying to make conspiracy theories about this whole situation and probably put in that he knew that he was going to screw over the Dolphins, the division rival. He's going to screw over the Giants, which beat him in the Super Bowl twice. But I think it was just maybe an honest mistake. So what happened is that after Brian Flores was fired by the Dolphins, they were interviewing him possibly for the Giants position. And at that time, another coach, Brian Dable, something like that. I don't know how to generally say his last name. I think it's Dable. Interviewed, and he's the offensive coordinator for the Bills. So obviously he's a pretty good coach because offense for the Bills was humming this year. They already had interviewed him, and Belichick went to text Brian Dable, and basically said, "Congratulations on getting the job," but accidentally texted
Brian Flores.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Belichick's old. He's not from the era that grew up using cell phones, so maybe he's. But here's my thing.
But yeah, and then
how do you not have someone's last name in your contacts?
But the biggest problem of that whole thing though is that he texted Brian Dable that he had the job before Brian Flores even interviewed.
Yes, that's
the problem.
I think Flores was on his way to interview for the Giants.
Correct.
Job and gets a text from Bill Belichick that says, "Hey, congrats, man. It's hard work or whatever."
Yeah.
I would like to see those text messages.
They're out. They're out. You can look at them.
I would. Yeah, I think I'm going to spend some afternoon on that.
I've looked at them. I have looked at them, and it seems like he's congratulating Brian Flores, and Brian Flores says, "Is there something that you know that I don't?" And then I don't. It feels like was this. I know it's crazy to think about. But I have 4 friends named Dan. I have 4 of them. I have Daniel Keene, Daniel No, Daniel Ricci, Daniel LaRue. And I have all of their names in my phone, and I know which person I am texting when I'm texting them. He has 2 Bryans, maybe more Bryans, but he has only 2 Bryans that he's actually probably thinking about in this position right now. I don't know how you can mix that up. Was that his plan? Was this his plan? To screw over the Dolphins and screw over the Giants.
So yeah,
then expose the NFL.
I do have the text up now. He gets a text from Bill Belichick that says, "Sounds like you've landed. Congrats." And Flores says, "Did you hear something I didn't hear?" And Belichick says, "Giants," with a bunch of question marks and exclamation points. And he says, "I interview on Thursday, period. I think I have a shot at it." And Bill Belichick goes, "Got it. I hear from Buffalo and NYG that you're their guy. Hope it works out if you want it to." And he goes, and Flores says, that's definitely what I want. I hope you're right, Coach. Thank you. Coach, are you talking to Brian Flores or Brian Dable? Just making sure. And Bill Belichick says, "Sorry, I effed this up.
Yep.
I double-checked and misread the text. I think they are naming Dable. I'm sorry about that, BB." And he says, "Thanks, Bill." That's pretty damning.
Yeah, but then again, if you're going up against the NFL, it's probably going to end in a settlement, and we'll never hear about it again.
And that's
which
terrible.
sucks.
That's
but,
terrible. That's
but
terrible.
Hopefully,
that this is the way the league is right now.
Yeah, but hopefully, I think from what I've been hearing is that Brian Flores is still even suing the NFL is still in a position to possibly get the job with the Texans.
He might.
I think
at least this season it might be extremely tough for him to get a head coaching gig.
Yeah.
But I think he should and probably will still land in some coaching capacity. Because if the NFL blackballs him right now and all organizations blackball him right now, that only makes their situation look so much worse.
Yeah. And okay, so but obviously, and then some other news this week, Harbaugh trying to go to the Vikings, Raiders, and Dolphins. He's got confirmed to be, I'm going to the Vikings. I got confirmed to be, I'm going to the Dolphins. I'm going to the Raiders. He goes in.
He went and interviewed for everything.
Yeah.
He was one of the finalists for the Viking job.
Yeah.
And then the Vikings chose.
I don't know if it was the Vikings' decision or his decision. I don't know if I think
the Vikings were a little bit hesitant, and he basically said, "You got to be all in on me, or I'm going to go back to Michigan." And he went back to Michigan. And
we've got a bunch of quick coaching hires. Nothing super flashy.
Let's just power through this real quick. Josh McDaniels to the Raiders.
I'm not a fan of that.
I don't like Josh McDaniels.
No, because of what he did to the Colts, obviously. Yeah, that whole situation still makes me angry.
He wasn't head coach, right?
He was for like
Colts,
20 seconds.
Oh, yeah, he pulled a Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Oh, blast from the past.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is a Bill Belichick coach, so.
And we ended up getting Frank Reich, which
isn't bad.
I don't know if that's better. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, only time will tell. But he was in Denver for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And that wasn't pretty in any way, shape, or form. I think the Raiders hiring him might be a mistake. I don't
know.
There are some guys who are like
maybe he's good
career coordinators.
Yeah,
they're never going to take it to the next level and be a head coach.
Yeah,
but they're going to be a darn good coordinator for a long time.
Oh yeah, and then next one on there, Matt Eberflus, my guy from the Colts, defensive coordinator to the Bears. Not a huge flashy hire, and I feel bad for the Bears honestly because he's a defensive coordinator, defensive minded guy. And you really need somebody that wants to develop Justin Fields, and it does not feel like
I don't think hiring a defensive coach with your offensive mind right now is a good idea for the Bears, but it's whatever. Brian Daboll to the Giants. Good for Brian Daboll. Not good for the other Brian in the situation. We've just talked about that. Daboll might do well with the Bears, though.
He could, yeah. No, the Bills.
Giants,
he's a good coach.
He's
like
a good
I'm being completely serious. Like it was.
I don't think
this is not his fault at all.
This is not his fault.
No,
yes, Daboll
I feel bad for him.
He's getting a lot of negative heat right now.
No,
because of it.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault.
No.
But he might. I think he'll be a good coach with the Giants. Nathaniel Hackett to the Broncos. Does this have any influence on Aaron Rodgers?
I think
about
it will.
Last week.
I think it will, but we'll see.
But I honestly, at this point, with him waiting this long, he might retire. I don't. Imagine
that Hall of Fame class with
Brady,
Ben Roethlisberger, and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
imagine that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be probably the biggest weekend. Other than last year, which we had 2 Hall of Fame classes and Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
that would probably rival it. That'd be crazy.
I think in the future of the Hall of Fame is looking bright. Doug Peterson to the Jags. I really like this. I love Doug Peterson as a guy. I love him as a coach.
Good coach.
He's got the offensive mind. He's got the number 1 pick, and he's got Trevor Lawrence, and he's got patient owners. After the Urban Meyer thing, these owners are kind of understanding. We're gonna have to give some time, and they're gonna give Peterson some time, and I think big things could be going in Duval.
Yep. Well, congratulations to the Jags. I don't think it's a huge hire.
I don't think it's. But I think
it's not flashy.
That's what you like. You don't want this huge pomp and circumstance hire. You want a guy like Dan Campbell to come into Detroit, little quietly, under the radar, and start, doing some work.
And I also found out that Doug Peterson has the chance to be the 5th greatest Jaguars coach in history with only 3 games into the season, passing or tying at least Urban Meyer's 3. Urban Meyer won 3 games and got fired.
Yeah, he
and 2 of them were, and one of them wasn't even in America. Isn't that? Oh man.
Oh god.
What a horrible decision. What a horrible chain of horrible events.
That was fun to watch though. As a fan, as a sports journalist,
it was funny.
It was great.
I enjoyed it.
Great to read those stories, but not good for him obviously. And
but not biggest, but fun thing this weekend. Obviously, Super Bowl not this weekend because there's about a 2-week period before the Super Bowl. We got the Pro Bowl this weekend.
Whoa.
Last Colts game of the year. For me, I'm going to keep bringing up the Colts as much as possible. I have some sort of tragic flaw, and that is bringing up the Colts at all times.
It's most of that fan base.
Yeah, no, come on. Give us something. We haven't had anything since 2007, all right? And Andrew Luck retired and broke all of our hearts. So, anyway, AFC versus NFC Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Dan, what are your picks for the game?
I'll be watching.
Yeah.
I'll be watching while I fold my laundry, maybe. It's going to be a very... You watch it because there's football.
I'm always big into the Pro Bowl. I like it. A lot of people don't.
I don't think it's too much of a competitive game.
No,
just to hang out and have a good time.
Is the NBA All-Star game a competitive game? I mean, maybe it's a bit more.
I have my opinions about the NBA. We'll talk about that next week.
Yes.
But I got the AFC 40, NFC 35. The MVP is going to be Patrick Mahomes or Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb might go off and have a good time. Patrick Mahomes might not even be it because I know they rotate quarterbacks in throughout the game. So
they rotate everybody in and out the game. So it's always one person.
It's literally who wants to play. Like they're all sitting on the sideline, and one of them's like, "Hey, you want to go throw the ball real quick?"
Well, they have like quarters that they have to like kind of like they have like rotational quarters or whatever.
But
I think it's like 1.5 quarters per quarterback.
And like the more veteran players don't play as much. So like when Drew Brees would go, he'd play the first quarter and then not play the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Hang out with his kids on the side, which is all good. Should be a fun game, though. I'll stick around to watch that.
Yep.
What are your picks?
And then I got AFC 55, NFC 42. Got a high-scoring affair, not a whole lot of defense, and my MVP pick is Jonathan Taylor.
How did I know that?
Yeah, well, because Jonathan Taylor's awesome. That's why I knew that.
Okay.
And Quentin Nelson isn't going to be playing, sadly. But you know what? Hopefully we'll see Jonathan Taylor rush for 200 yards in a quarter. We'll see how that goes.
It's because no one's going to tackle him.
Yeah,
it's
but
like two-hand touch out there.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. But that'll do it for us this week.
That will do it for us this week. Next week, we're coming in big with the Super Bowl. We're going to have Super Bowl picks, a little bit of conversation. Eminem is at the halftime show, and Matthew Stafford's quarterback.
And Snoop Dogg.
That is the closest a Detroit Lions
true.
fan is going to get to the Super Bowl. We're going to have a good time. We're also going to have a good friend of ours, Zach Greer, come on and talk about the NBA right after the trade deadline.
Oh, yeah.
Andy and I don't follow the NBA as much, but we will do our best research and bring on a qualified expert.
Yes, that'd probably be a good call other than us just rambling on about stuff we have not a whole lot of knowledge on.
Very, very little NBA knowledge. But I'll study it. Like, you know,
I'll look up some articles and see what's up.
We'll read. We'll make sure we at least know what to ask him.
Yep, I'll find out what the Pacers are doing because I don't know at all what they're doing anymore. So because I gave up. But anyway, yep, it should be a fun week next week.
Should be a fun week next week. You guys enjoy your weekend, your week. If it's snowing by you, good luck. If it's not snowing by you, can I get a plane ticket there? That's it for the Underqualified Knuckleheads podcast this week. Have a great one.
See you next week.
You gotta stop doing that.